Hi, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Candace Elliott, and I am a human resources strategist who focuses on a values aligned approach to HR. And today I'm going to be talking a little bit about all the investment that's going on right now in the tech industry in the HR space, and then also about algorithmic bias. So one of the newsletters that I subscribe to is called HR Brew, and it is a wealth of information in the world of HR, and every week comes out with really interesting articles and resources and news, and it's just wonderful. So if you're interested in nerding out on HR things, HR Brew is something to check out. And recently, one of the things that they published was about the decline in investment in tech overall, but the increase in investment in HR solutions in tech. And they go across like all the categories of types of investment in the realm of HR, from benefits to onboarding and recruiting and all the things, performance management, reviews, goals, keeping track of what's happening with all of your employees throughout the course of their time with the organization, project management, and all of these. There's so many tools. It's like an explosion that has happened over the course of, the last 10 years for sure, and especially the last 2 to 3 years. I'm going to link the article so you can check it out and look at all of those different things that are going on. But one of the things that has come up recently is using an algorithm for hiring. So where you have people submit a video of themselves and a resume, and then you have an algorithm that goes through and it decides who you should interview and not interview. And I watched a really, really interesting video recently, probably about a month ago, that was really focused on algorithmic bias. There was a woman, I'll link the video below also, I'm not remembering the name of it right now, but there was a woman who wanted to do a study on faces. And found that the facial recognition software that she was using wouldn't recognize her face as a face. She is a Black woman, and so she found that facial recognition worked best with white men. Like second best is white women, and then it was men of color, and then women of color. And I don't know if you know, but facial recognition software is used in many places around the world through the police force. So seeing those disparities led her to do a whole study, and her work continues today and is super interesting. And again, I'll add those links. But so when you transfer this bias into the world of hiring, I just have really strong concerns about whether that is going to result in more equality, more diversity, and more fairness and justice in the workplace, or if it is going to perpetuate systems of oppression. And so if this is a system that you're looking into, then I would recommend that if you're kind of doing the process of vetting, to ask about this algorithmic bias piece, and to ask about how names that are not, Western centric are going to be processed by this algorithm, and to ask about how videos are going to be processed by the algorithm. Because if having a bright video with certain definition of facial features is going to be a requirement in order for a candidate to move forward, then that may disqualify people who have darker skin colors. And so that's a really important thing to ask if you're kind of looking into one of these systems. It's like when I read about them, that was my first instinct was, oh God, people are going to think this is great because then they don't have to weed through candidates. But also, like, if it can be, I'm worried that it can be discriminatory. So just my 2 thoughts there on just algorithmic bias and all this investment in tech. I think that tech is wonderful, and it also can be a pain. It's very useful as a tool. I think it can enable us to do things that we couldn't do without it, obviously, right? Like, I don't think I could run my business in the way that I do today without all of the technology that I have at my fingertips. And also, it's good to have, to be critical and to think about what types of tech we're using and what is underneath the tech that may not be apparent when we just use it kind of day to day.